When we talk about the ad agencies, Omnicom, we start talking about Group M. Group M has given us the runaround for 4 years. Awful. Even when they had a black CEO, we got zero from Group M. Horizon, all these agencies, nothing. And then y'all wonder, man, I don't understand. Why they can't have this? Why can't they have that? Because we get frozen out of the money. So it's one thing to launch a black-owned media product. It's one thing to purchase a black-owned media product. But the question is, how do you stay in business? And make matters worse, in this anti-DEI world, I'm telling y'all right now, I know a number of black-owned media companies that are gasping for breath because DEI dollars. Let me be real clear, y'all. I need y'all to hear what I'm telling y'all. They were not getting advertising dollars. They were getting DEI dollars. And so let me explain to y'all what that means. When I ran the Dallas Weekly, the late Jim Washington was the publisher. God rest his soul. And we were sitting there talking, and Jim said to me, he said, Mr. Martin, why are you always trying to put my friends out of business? I said, Jim, because it's very simple. Dallas is not big enough for 7 black newspapers. We need consolidation, Jim. I said, here's the problem, Jim. You're not getting advertising dollars. He says, what do you mean? I said, Jim, you're getting community relation dollars. I said, they're taking $12,000. They're taking $12,000, and they are giving you a piece, the Dallas Examiner a piece, the Dallas Post-Tribune a piece, Elite News a piece, Minority Opportunity News a piece. I went down to the whole line. Levita a piece. I said, but that's community relation dollars. That ain't advertising dollars. I'll give you an example. My frat brother Todd Brown, when he was running Ebony, that's what he told me. Ebony was getting I'm about to mess y'all up. Ebony was getting $20,000 for a full-page ad. Esquire, which was smaller than Ebony, was getting $200,000 for the exact same full-page ad. You may say, well, hold up, Ebony? Ebony? Yes, because the white ad firms and the white-run Fortune 500 companies, they actually value a white consumer more than they do a black consumer. I'm about to mess y'all up even further. See, this actually turned into our Where's Our Money segment. I'm about to mess y'all up even further. Read Brett Pulley's book, The $1 Billion Bet, the unauthorized biography of Bob Johnson and BET. In that book, Brett Pulley wrote that when Viacom, now Skydance Paramount, when Viacom, owned by Sumner Redstone, run by Mel Karmazin, when they were negotiating to buy BET, which they did for $2.8 billion, it was $2.4 billion in the assumption of $400 million in cash, $400 million in debt, they looked at BET's books and they discovered that BET, which had similar ratings and was in the similar cable homes, similar distribution as MTV, that BET was getting $1,500 for a commercial spot, and MTV was getting $8,000 for the same commercial spot. Let me repeat that. BET was getting $1,500 for a spot, 30 or 60 seconds, I can't remember. MTV was getting $8,000 for the same spot. Because, see, they valued MTV's white viewers more than they valued BET. So that's what we call in the media business the black tax. So there's a 60 to 65% black tax, meaning if you're black, they're going to give you 60 to 65% less than they're going to get white people. Now, I'm about to really mess y'all up. Now, I want y'all to hear what I just told y'all. BET was getting $1,500. MTV was getting $8,000. So that means a $6,500 difference. Y'all, that's huge. Now, what happened? Bob and Sheila Johnson, who own BET, sold BET for $2.8 billion. Bob and Sheila Johnson, John Malone was one of the top investors. So Bob and Sheila Johnson, they got the majority of the money. John Malone made a whole bunch of money as well. So I think they got 1.3, 1.4, whatever the number was. He got like $1 billion. That's how the money got. And then you had some people, there was some people who owned some equity stake because BET was private. They went public. And then Bob Johnson took them back private. Okay, so that's what happened there. So here's what was crazy. I'm about to mess y'all up. A lot of y'all have been mad that Bob and Sheila Johnson sold BET. A lot of y'all been cussing, yelling, and hollering. Well, guess what? They took their own money and built BET, and they took that money, and they've now been able to buy a whole bunch of other stuff with the money from BET, and so they actually own more companies and have more people who they employ now than when they had BET. But here's what I'm about to mess y'all up. If Bob and Sheila Johnson had gotten fair value for BET's ads, Bob and Sheila Johnson could have sold BET for the same $2.8 billion, but only sold a third of BET, and they could still be owning it. I'm gonna let that sit with y'all for a second. Bob and Sheila Johnson had a black tax not been slapped on them, Bob and Sheila Johnson could have sold BET for $2.8 billion. They could have sold a third of BET. They could have kept 2/3, meaning BET's value really should have been not almost $3 billion, but BET's value should have been $9 or $10 billion. So if there was no black tax, BET would still be black owned, and they would have made the same amount of money and would have been able to buy all the stuff that they bought and still own BET. But because of the black tax, they couldn't. So when these Simple Simon Negroes are yelling, Roland, you got $350,000 from the Kamala campaign for advertising. But y'all didn't ask, where did the other $1 billion go? Y'all didn't ask, wait a minute, how much money went through all these white ad agencies, and did any money go through a black ad agency? 2 small amounts of money. Y'all ain't listening. So the Simple Simon Negroes were yelling, you got $350,000 from the Kamala campaign. And by the way, the only reason y'all even know how much I got is because I told the Kamala campaign that they white ad agencies can go to hell because they were lowballing me for ads. I said, y'all gonna pay me direct. I knew it was gonna show up in a FEC filing. I knew that, but I didn't give a damn. I was not gonna be shortchanged by the white agency. And in fact, it was supposed to have been at least $700,000. And they played around in the last 45 days and didn't come through. Because the $350 really was June through September. See, y'all ain't listening to me. So when we talk about black-owned media, and y'all wondering why we don't have 30 and 40 and 50 and 60 people, y'all wondering why, well, man, if I go get a job there, I don't have health benefits and dental, I don't have 401k and retirement, because we literally can't afford it. I'm just being straight up with y'all. Y'all need to understand what's going on here. When we are frozen out of the advertising dollars, you can't build and grow. So you can go out and raise money. You can go out and you can get private equity. You can get venture capital. That don't mean nothing if you cannot build your business on the advertising side. And so when y'all hear, and it's the last point I make before I go to Julian and Rebecca. So when y'all see me post, when we are calling out brands for not advertising with us, Pepsi, when y'all see us calling out brands, JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Clorox, products that black people are buying, when y'all see us doing that, I'm gonna need y'all to respond the same way y'all do if I post some shit about LeBron, Michael Jordan, Beyonce, or Tyrese, or something, entertainment and sports. Because see, if they look up and they see, oh, damn, this thing did 40,000 likes. Oh my God, that post had 5,000 comments. They gonna do the math. But see, when you only have 20 or 30 likes and 5 or 6 comments, you know what they say? Oh, we ain't worried about that. We ain't worried about that. We good. Somebody in the chat just said F, Pepsi, BOA, Clorox, and Wells Fargo. Now, if you see how much money we spend with them, y'all need to understand, black people, oh man, we are some amazing consumers. But Dr. King said on April 3rd, 1968, in his last sermon at Mason Temple in Memphis, he said, black people individually are poor, collectively represent one of the largest economies in the world. We must move as a collective and to achieve action. Black-owned media can only survive if we move as a collective in demanding our fair share of dollars. And if there are companies and these represented by these ad agencies that refuse to spend money with black-owned media, then we will come back and tell our black audience that they will not spend money with us and we should not spend money with them. That is the only way this is going to change. Julian, you first.
First of all, Roland, thank you for that sermon and that reminder of how black-owned media thrives and for calling out these companies that do not support us. I was talking to a friend the other day and we were talking about what would happen if black people just stopped spending money. And we just said, you know, you got to eat, et cetera. But for a day, a week, whatever, they need to understand the power of our collective. And they don't understand it, or they do understand it, but they dismiss it because we allowed it. The best number you gave me in that conversation was the 1,500 for BET ads and 8,000 for was MTV ads. That multiplier. And that's a multiplier that black people deal with every single day. We deal with a multiplier of getting less, but being required to do more. And so everybody who is listening needs to do about a couple of things. Number one, stack your money. A recession is coming. Stack your money and don't buy this frivolous BS that these folks are pushing on you, pushing on you, pushing on you. Number two, what are you doing? Susan Taylor used to always say to people, what are you doing with your people? That would be how she often opened a conversation. I will ask you that. What are you doing with your people? And what are you doing if you're watching with, to, for, and about Roland Martin Unfiltered? And I'm not saying this because I'm sitting here. You know, Roland and I, we go back. But I would say this because this brother brilliantly has created something out of nothing, you know, taking straw and turning it into bricks. And the question for y'all is, what are you doing about it? It's just so important right now, especially at a time like this. Sister Ashley, what she's doing with the Root, at a time like this, we need to be informed. You're not going to get your news on CNN and whatever else. We're certainly not going to get it on Fox. This is a call to action, folks.
Yep.
It's a serious call to action.
Rebecca.
We talk about this for years. We're in a fight for our community, and we're in a fight to make this country live up to its promise to us. So that said, all of us have our parts. So for those who don't have the disposable income, like, subscribe, share, let people know to watch the show. Your eyeballs and comments matter. For those who have discretionary budgets, if you cut the cord on Hulu, on Disney, and now you have extra $10, $15 a month to give, then you could subscribe and become a member of the Bring the Funk Club. There's all sorts of ways that all of us can be a part of the solution here. And finally, Dr. King said something. He said that budgets are moral documents. So shame on those companies who have decided that their ethos of their company doesn't include supporting and investing in Black interests.
And again, folks, here's the whole deal. No one, no political ad buyer, no ad agency can say that, well, we don't have the numbers. Oh, we do. Oh, we do. And we're about to hit almost 2 million YouTube subscribers. We've been doing that. And I'm going to show you here, right here, give me 1 second, because it came out today. My guy, Keenan, hit me with it. And y'all know, every week YouTube shows their top podcast and shows you what the numbers are. Go to my iPad. And so this is for the week of September 29th, October 5th. This is the most popular podcast shows on YouTube. And when you see here, when you look at those folks who are African American, guess what? You see right there, you're gonna see here Nightcap with Shannon and Ocho. You're gonna see this conservative dude. You're gonna see Club Shay Shay. You're gonna keep going here, and all of a sudden, right there, number 51. The highest we've ever been was 40. Number 51. So no one can say we don't have the audience. We don't have the audience. Don't have the numbers. Don't have the reach. Everything you need. And so here's the thing right here. I'm going to go ahead and show y'all these here. And I want y'all to understand what I'm about to tell y'all. And I'm about to call their names specifically. And I'm going to add one more, because I think Group M is under one of these here. Let me see who owns Group M. Give me 1 second. And because Group M has been the most egregious because they've done nothing with us. So WPP owns Group M. So go to my iPad. These are the 5 largest ad agency holding companies in the world. WPP, that's formerly Group M, okay? Publicis Group, Omnicom Group, Interpublic Group of Companies, IPG, Dentsu Group. I want all y'all to understand, since we launched this show, now I'll go back. Since we launched this show, we have met with WPP, Group M, numerous times. I got all the emails. They know me well. We met with Publicis Group many times. My team has met with Omnicom. We met with Interpublic Group of Companies. We met with Dentsu. Y'all don't want me to start calling names of execs at these 5 companies. I'll show y'all emails. In the 7 years of Roland Martin Unfiltered, in the 4 years of Black Star Network, in the 7 years of Roland Martin Unfiltered, and in the 4 years of Black Star Network, go back to my iPad, these 5 agencies representing billions of dollars in major companies, not 1 cent. After all of the meetings, the emails, the presentations, I've flown to New York. My guys at Urban Edge Network has flown there. WPP, formerly Group M, Publicis Group, Omnicom Group, Interpublic Group of Companies, Dentsu Group. Not 1 penny spent. General Motors falls under Dentsu. I negotiated that deal directly with General Motors. Coca-Cola, directly with Coca-Cola. The companies that you have seen us do stuff with, we did direct deals with those companies. These 5 agencies have frozen us out of the business. And the only way the Root is going to survive, and the Tribe, and the other Black-owned media outlets, And there's some things they do. Some dollars are going to Urban One. Some stuff is going to Black Enterprise, going to Essence for the music festival. And they wanted to force all of us to go through Group M, one black company, but they didn't tell the LGBTQ folks to go to Group Pink. They didn't tell the white-owned media companies to go to Group White. They didn't tell Latinos to go to Group Brown, but they wanted to force black people to go through one ad agency who was trying to charge us outrageous fees to get ads. We said, hell no. And now they suing each other. But I want y'all to understand, we will never be able to thrive. Because right now, black-owned media is surviving. We will never be able to thrive as long as these companies are freezing us out of the money. I'm gonna show y'all one last time. And I'm calling them out by name. And I'm telling y'all right now, come on, go. I'm telling y'all right now, to the executives at WPP Group M, and Publicis Group, and Omnicom Group, and Interpublic Group of Companies, IPG, and Dentsu Group, we're right now in the fourth quarter of 2025. If these companies leave us out of their 2026 budgets, I'm gonna start naming the people who we have been emailing and meeting with, and I'm going to show you their photos because they are the ones who have been freezing us and other black-owned media out of the money. That is not a threat, it's a promise. Because I'm sick and tired of meetings. I'm sick and tired of them just, stringing us along, another meeting. No. We will not be able to build and grow. I have the plan, y'all. I have the plan right now. Do y'all know that if we got $5 million in advertising a year, we would have 40 additional people hired? I have the plan already. We would have people placed in 7 cities across the country, being able to cover more stuff, being able to have more footprint. We've done a whole lot with little. But we've proven we know what we're doing. And Bank of America, now that I see that y'all were the title sponsor of a startup news operation, y'all gonna hear from me tomorrow. And you can't tell me y'all don't buy news because you bought the recount when they had no audience. And the same for you, JP Morgan Chase, as well.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase, and I'm here with a very important message. We are at a turning point in the Black community where we must have equity in the apps we use that scale to billions of dollars. But this time, we own the infrastructure, we own the culture, and we shape the future. And Fanbase is the future. Fanbase combines the free functionality of Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube into an all-in-one platform built for the evolution of social media and monetization. With over 1.4 million users, that's real proof that we are shifting the conversation of tech ownership and equity for creators. So right now, I want you to go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. The minimum to invest is $399. That gets you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase at $665 a share. This marks a turning point in Black ownership of social media. If we don't take this opportunity to own social media right now, we will always be customers to our own creations. And that can't go on. So once again, go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. We must own the platforms where our voices live, our stories matter, and where our culture drives the world. Thank you.